All right, I'm here to walk you through some of the basic anatomy of the instrument. There are so many parts to the instrument. I mean, guitars are made up of all sorts of different pieces, and different guitars have different components. But I really only want to focus on the parts of the instrument that we're going to talk about in class, a terminology that will be relevant to you. As you expand your musical career, as you get more involved in the instrument, you're eventually going to have to do repairs. You may want to replace parts for other parts that you like. You may want to customize your own instruments. You may even someday want to build a guitar. And when that happens, the terminology, the more minute details of the instrument will become relevant. But as of now, we just have some main parts of the guitar that I'll say a lot in class that I'll need you to be familiar with. And so that's what I want to go over right now to start out with. So let's look at the instrument as a whole. This right here is a classical style guitar. It's very similar to most acoustic guitars, which probably a lot of you have. It does not look like the electric guitar, but all guitars, regardless of what it is, has three main components. You've got your body right here, which is this section here, which really does kind of look like a body. You've got your neck, which is usually a single piece of wood extending outward, plus a little flat part right here called the fretboard. And then you have the headstock, which is where the strings are attached on the other end here. On the end down here at the body, you have the strings attached at the bridge. And even though it's not illustrated here, most of you, if you're holding an acoustic guitar, a standard acoustic guitar that a lot of beginners use, there are these little pins that are on the end of each string that hold it in just through tension and pressure, hold the string into the bridge right there. You also have this cutout here called a sound hole. You really want to think of the body as a resonating chamber. So the vibrations that are created by the strings bounce back and forth within this chamber, and this sound hole right here is an opening for the sound to escape. It's an amplification system essentially. So even though it's acoustic, there is some natural amplification because of the sound hole. So you've got your body, you've got your neck, you've got your headstock. On the body you have the bridge, and most of you should have those bridge pins, and you have the sound hole. Now, another issue, a part of the guitar that I want to spend time on is thinking about the fret. And there's actually two definitions for fret depending on what you're talking about. Right here I'm pointing to the metal bar that's embedded inside of the neck, and there are several of them. Probably most of you have about 24 of them running up and down your neck. And these are actually physical bars called frets that are put in, and they're placed in such a way that they divide the neck into certain intervals. So when you put your finger down behind one of the frets, it's going to stop the string from vibrating at certain specified intervals. And this isn't unique to guitar, but mandolins, banjos, a bunch of other traditional like Eastern European string instruments, and even the sitar uses frets. So it's a way to have a fixed note on a fretted instrument. You don't see these on violins, cellos, violas, upright basses. You see them on electric basses. The other definition for fret is when we're talking about playing, it's this space in between the metal bars. So these are typically numbered: first fret, second fret, third fret, all the way up to 23rd fret, something really high like that. And this is where I'm talking, if I say the word fret in the sense of put your finger down on the third fret, I'm saying put it down in the space in between the bars right here. So imagine this is your first fret, second fret, third fret would be right here. I'll talk about this in more detail in the next video, but since I have this up here, typically you want to try to place your finger right up against the fret that you're on, not here in the middle, certainly not up here towards the top, or you're going to hear some buzzing. So those are your two frets. These right here, this is your headstock, a close-up of the headstock. And these right here are your tuning pegs, and these are actually just gears. If you twist this gear, it's going to move this little beam around, and the string will wrap around it. It'll tighten or loosen the string, and it's going to change the pitch of the string by adding tension or loosening the string. The tighter the string is, the faster the string will vibrate, and the higher the pitch, the looser it is. You'll have the opposite effect. And that's basically it. The one last thing I want to show for any of you who have electric guitars or even acoustic electric guitars, these are pickups right here. Pickups are transducers, and a transducer is anything that takes one energy signal and converts it to a different type of energy signal. So in the case of guitar, the energy signal that we produce with our pick or with our fingers is the mechanical energy of the strings vibrating. The transducer is a mechanism that translates it into an electrical energy signal that can then go to an amplifier, a computer, or recording hardware, and can be used to project through speakers or into a computer. So that's basically it. It's not a lot. I hope this isn't overwhelming. Feel free to watch this video again. There's a quiz on this. Everything that I said is going to be covered on the quiz. Let me know if you have any questions.